Well, it's actually much better for an evil spirit to be in the spiritual realm than it would be for that spirit to be born back onto earth, and I'll explain. Swedenborg learned that we're all born into earth life with the baggage of hereditary tendencies towards self-centeredness and materialism. But we're born with a clean slate in the sense that we are not personally responsible for any of that heredity. When we come of age to be able to make free, rational choices, only the selfish impulses that we freely and rationally choose to indulge in and make a habit of become a permanent part of our spirits. Any tendencies that we don't make a habit of easily become dormant in the afterlife and can, just be put to sleep. Now, anyone who has become an evil spirit is someone who enjoys indulging in self-centered gratification more than caring about other people. To evil spirits, heavenly goals like sharing, helping, compassion, altruism are nauseating, boring, and awful. They would much rather have enjoyments like manipulating people, hurting them, dominating, and taking advantage of others. So it seems to me that if evil spirits were to be reincarnated back into physical life, they would not come with a clean slate. They would come to earth with a spirit that was built out of selfish enjoyments. That actual chosen evil in the spirit, coming back into this free will plane of earth, would be disastrous. The person wouldn't have a chance. The spirit, built mostly out of selfishness, would be exceedingly attracted to even worse forms of selfishness and greed, and would be able to use free will to sink further and further into the destruction of self and others. But in the spiritual realm, unlike on earth, no one is permitted to get worse. Everyone is permitted to get better and better to eternity, but out of God's mercy, no one is allowed to become worse, which would be to further poison and destroy one's own spirit. Here's a quote from Spiritual Experiences 3093. In the other life, it is never permitted anyone to become worse. Whenever a certain spirit would add something new and accustom himself to an evil he had not previously made a habit, he was heavily punished, to his horror. Therefore he dares not to do it. So there are also such restraints as keep them from wandering outside the limit. There are endless incentives and methods in the spiritual realm for spirits to be led toward a better state, or at least a less evil state. It's God's ultimate goal and wish to bring everyone into heaven, so there are a vast variety of methods to achieve that. But for the methods to go easily, we have to want to be led in a better direction. In the show The Good Thing About Hell, Curtis presented that for evil spirits who love self-gratification more than anything, nothing works to prevent them from getting worse except punishments. We already read that punishments can keep evil spirits safe from engaging in even worse evil, and here's another use for those punishments from Spiritual Experiences 2793. What punishments also accomplished in the other life? There are numerous punishments, heavier and more prolonged according to the nature of each one's character acquired during bodily life. But punishments have the effect over a period of time of instilling them with fears, shames, horrors for the things that their nature has fed upon and drunk in. So when they are associated with those who are better, and those things come up that agree with their nature, they are warned by those fears, shames, and horrors that they have been struck with, and are thereby apt to be led away from them. But still, they do not alter or change their nature, which remains as developed in the life of the body to eternity, but the punishments add on the means whereby they can be led away from their evils. Swedenborg learned that the nature or inner character that we choose while on earth can never change, but did you catch that we all, including evil spirits, can be led away from our evils? We presented an idea about this in the show Spiritual Fermentation. The Lord can, if we allow it, push our harmful impulses to the periphery and put them to sleep. Ideally, this happens with us being shown the nature of a bad habit so we can realize it's bad and willingly let it go. With evil spirits, again, this can only be achieved very gradually through punishments, because the more something has become enjoyable to us, the less likely we are going to willingly let it go. So one last quote from Spiritual Experiences 1074. While these punishments do not actually take away evil, they do have this effect, that when a spirit is about to do it again, he recalls the punishment. Thus he is scared off. So either fear or shame keep him from carrying out the evils. A punishment inflicted just once does not work with these spirits, but it is repeated many times so that it tames something in them each time. This usually happens over many years and many times. So it seems that a very slow kind of reformation is possible in the spiritual realm for evil spirits. But if they were to be let back into the free will plane of earth life, they would rush into terrible choices and only get worse. Earthly free will is crucial to start out with, or else choosing goodness would be meaningless. But heavenly freedom is so much better than earthly free will. For more about that, see our show called Spiritual Freedom.